Need my ears brushed. You need your feet done, buddy. You got slippers on. Muppet head. Just I needed good grooming. Oh, sorry, buddy. Didn't get the landing gear down. He didn't stick the landing. Good morning, everyone. Okay, so yeah, yesterday was not what we had planned. Yesterday morning when we woke up, Hugh got up and made coffee and took Shayna and Stewie down to go out and potty. And when he came back upstairs, Stewie didn't get back in bed with us. Instead, he went over and laid on a dog bed in the corner, which is unusual. Very unusual. And he just had his back to us and his head down and was just acting kind of mopey. So we came downstairs, we did Facebook Live, did the barn. And then when we went to feed the dogs, Stewie didn't come. And I had carried Gabby downstairs and Hugh came down and he said, I can't wake up Stewie. Stewie won't get up. And I poked him because he doesn't hear, thinking maybe he didn't realize that we had gone downstairs. And because these guys, Cavaliers, they're foodaholics. They show up for the food. So I came up to find him, and he had crawled under the desk onto the little bed that Gabby sleeps on. And again, just acting very mopey. Now, he's got his nose out of joint since Gabby came because she definitely is attached to me and kind of pushed him away a little bit. So I try to give him extra attention to make him not be so sad. He gets lap time in the chair with me, just like everybody else. So I picked him up and took him downstairs. I just froze. I picked him up and took him downstairs. And when I got him downstairs, I stood him up and he collapsed and didn't want to get up. All right. There we go. He didn't want to get up. So I said, well, that's not normal. And so we made their breakfast. I put his food in front of him thinking, well, he's a foodaholic. He's gonna get into that food. Nope. Just kind of looked at me. And I sat him up. He finally sat up. And I had to kind of beg him to eat, spoon feeding, trying to get it in his mouth. And once he got started, he did eat all of his food. And the only reason I really wanted him to eat was to get his heart meds into him. So I said, all right, we're going to take him over to the ER today, get some chest x-rays and see what's going on because he hasn't been right. And I've been adjusting his meds. And of course, then it dawned on us that at 10 o'clock, we had a furnace inspection at our house. So we didn't want to leave mom with that. So I said, okay, well, at this point it was 9 o'clock. I said, all right, we'll go after the furnace guy gets here. Well, a little before 10, Stewie tried to stand up and he just fell over. And I said, this is not good. I mean, the dog looked like he was drunk as a skunk and he was pink, but his gums were tacky. And I just said, not good, not good. We're going now. So, sort of abandoned mom and left her to deal with the heater guy. And then I was supposed to have a follow-up consultation at 10:30. We were on the road and I just emailed on my phone and said, gonna have to reschedule. So we ended up at the emergency service that we've used for years. Unfortunately, it has been bought out by Blue Pearl, which is Mars, but it happens to be where our cardiologist is. And of course, he was not in yesterday. So we dropped Stewie off at the front door. They took him in and we sat for 2 hours. It was 30 degrees out, 2 hours before we even heard from anyone. I was getting to the point where I was going to start calling them and going, what are you doing?
You were going to start being that client.
I was going to start being that client. So, and just about the point I was getting out my phone to call them, the doctor called, and she sounded like she was about 18. And I'm not being judgmental because I had a new doc in my practice many times. But if I had not been a veterinarian, if I did not know my dog so well, this would have gone a lot differently. And so I feel your pain, you guys. So she asked me, I wrote down everything I had sent in. I did exactly what I tell you guys to do. I sent in a list of all his medications, his symptoms, the timeline over the past few months of his last cardiology appointment, his dental appointment, his med change a few weeks ago, and what his symptoms were. But of course, I had to repeat all of that to her. And then she said, well, and I said, look, he can't stand up. He's not walking. He's falling over. Yeah, he does seem pretty weak, but he doesn't seem to have any neurologic problems, and I can't elicit any pain. I said, he doesn't have neurologic problems. He doesn't have pain. That's not the issue. His circulation is the issue. His heart is the issue. Can we please focus on that? I said, have you taken a blood pressure? Well, no, but we certainly can. Okay, good. Because, he's got a heart problem. Have you taken chest x-rays? And this is one of those things, because I changed his Lasix and upped it a little while ago too. So I kind of wanted to know what his kidney function was, although I didn't think it was a problem, and his electrolytes. So she said, well, we could do chest x-rays and we could get some lab work, but that's probably going to be around $500. She diagnosed my bank account. I hate when doctors do that. I would much rather have a doctor be on the other end saying, we really should do some chest x-rays and see if he's got any fluid in there. We should do an ultrasound and see if he's building up fluid in his abdomen or his chest or has pericardial effusion. We should do some lab work to see what his kidneys are doing and see what his electrolytes are doing. That'll be $500. That's a much better way to come at it if you're somebody who's really looking out for the health of the pet, because then it's my option to say, hey, I can't afford to do all that today. But she was very hesitant to recommend it and very hesitant to do it because it was going to be $500. Now, believe me, I am not looking to spend an extra $500, and our bill at the end of the day was $768, and we're going back to see the cardiologist today. That'll be another $600. Thank you very much. So it's a very expensive little foray into the veterinary world. What did we do for 2 hours? I answered emails on my phone, played games on my phone, perused Facebook, which I rarely do, perused Parlor, which is the same thing being repeated over and over. What did you do, Hugh?
I took a nice walk.
You took a walk. It was cold for part of the time. And he played games on his phone, and I don't know, whatever. Yeah, I don't know what we would have done. I guess without a cell phone, I would have taken a book to read, but I didn't. So, but anyway, by the time I okayed all the blood work and x-rays, I was like, oh, this is going to be at least another hour. And by this point, after our morning coffee, we're sitting in a car for 3 to 4 hours in the cold, no bathroom facilities, and kind of blew right through lunchtime. So we were like, okay, we're getting hungry. I just looked at you. I said, maybe we should drive home. It's like 25 minutes each way. I was like, maybe we should just drive home and come back. Should have. So anyway, then she called me a little later and said, well, his lab work looks fine. His albumin's a little low. I was like, okay. She didn't mention the fact that he's anemic. Again, overlooked that on the lab work. But his kidney function was good. So she was focused on electrolytes and kidney function, and, kind of blew by the fact that he's a little anemic. Not bad, but I'm going to start him on some herbs for that. And I told her he had SM, and I'm pretty sure that went. Pretty sure that didn't compute at all. But when they did his blood pressure was only 80. So I'm a little suspicious that his problem is that his blood pressure is too low. And he's a little tachycardic, which means his heart rate's a little fast. And I think it's a little fast because he's trying to make up for the low blood pressure. So we're going to the cardiologist today to get medications tweaked so that we can get this right. I have a pretty good idea what his medications need to be, but I don't know 100% without that echo. So going to see the cardiologist today.
Enlarged
Oh, his left atrium is huge. She thinks he's coughing because his heart is so big and it's pressing on his airway, which very well could be. He's got a huge heart. That's why he's so sweet and loves everyone. So, all right, funny, I'm talking about this. Your cat ate an ear loop off a mask last Sunday. Eating and pooping normally has not passed the string yet. Well, called 3 vets, told them I'm 100% sure he swallowed it and didn't poop it out. They all said do nothing. Would it make sense to get an x-ray? It won't show up on x-ray. The only thing, Mary, the only thing you need to watch for is vomiting. If that cat starts vomiting or stops eating, that's a problem. It should pass because it's not that long of a foreign body and it shouldn't ball all up. So, I mean, you could give him a little corn oil or olive oil. Prefer olive oil. You give him a little olive oil and see if we can lube things up and maybe get it to move on through. He's not vomiting. He's acting normal. I would hang tight. So anyway, that was our day with Stewie. We finally got home at, 2:30 and then decided we needed to wrap Christmas gifts. That took till 6 o'clock. One of those. So needless to say, there was no packing. And today we're driving down to Dover, which is like an hour and a quarter each way to drop off Hugh's daughter's family's Christmas gifts because we have to go to Delaware anyway for Stewie. So we thought, well, we'll just add that onto the trip. So no packing again today. And there will be no heat in our house all day. So maybe it's a good day to be out and about because they're coming to reroute the gas line into our house because it's not up to code because the code changed since it was put in. How did the furnace inspection go? Oh, they need to do repairs. So they're coming Monday to do repairs on that. And then on Christmas Eve, they're actually coming to inspect our chimney. This whole selling a house thing, just open your checkbook, just send the money flying, just throw it out the window or up the chimney or in the furnace. So that's how it's going. Yeah. So
had to have emergency text with the financial person yesterday.
I had to emergency text my financial person. I'm like, did we put all this in the budget? Because I'm just not sure if this is all in the budget and I don't know what to do with it. So anywho, everyone have a wonderful day. We'll get some more music because that's not what I'm looking for. Oh, I shut it down. I gotta go back and find it again. Come on. I guess I have to keep talking. So anyway, our day, well, I can't get the bells. I lost them. I'm sorry, see? Happy Friday, everyone. Oh, and my sister's coming down today. Everybody have a wonderful day.